I think my biggest shock has been how kind people are here. People are just very, very, very nice. It's probably the only country I feel this safe. Even in Thailand, I didn't feel as safe as in Malaysia. But before
jadi kalau dia ke Thailand gitu tidak merasa seaman di Malaysia. Itu mungkin keistimewaan atau bisa dikatakan keunggulan daripada Malaysia. Ketika bule-bule ya kan ke Malaysia, mereka langsung merasa kayak oh aman banget di sini gitu kan.
Come here. The crazy thing is that I thought it was gonna be the opposite. I thought Malaysia would be a little bit more dangerous and I have to be careful more. But I am in KL right now.
Jadi dia pikir itu Malaysia akan lebih bahaya gitu kan daripada negara-negara lain. Ternyata ketika sampai di Malaysia faktanya berbalik gitu kan.
And I feel like I can go pretty much everywhere and nobody is gonna rob me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jumpa lagi dengan saya guys, CAKMOJIB. Gimana kabar teman-teman semua? Semoga sehat selalu dalam lindungan Allah Subhanahu wa taala, dijauhkan dari segala mara bahaya, malapetaka, bencana dan bala serta berbagai macam penyakit. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Alright guys, kali ini kita akan reaksi sebuah video yang sangat menarik sekali nih guys ya. Jadi bule ini ya kan mengaku kagum terhadap negara Malaysia, negara jiran kita. Kok bisa begitu ya guys ya? Ini langsung apa namanya itu review jujur daripada mereka. Dan mereka bahkan membandingkan Malaysia itu dengan negaranya mereka, Polandia, Jerman ya kan. Oh, kok bisa gitu ya guys ya? Katanya itu di Malaysia itu biasa tapi di sana nggak biasa gitu loh guys ya. Wow, keren, menarik sekali. Tanpa berlama-lama, jom kita tengok videonya dari awal sampai akhir supaya tidak salah paham. Jom kita play videonya, let's go.
Seorang turis asal Jerman yang telah tinggal di Indonesia selama 3 tahun akhirnya memutuskan untuk mengunjungi Malaysia selama 2 minggu. Awalnya, ia berpikir bahwa Malaysia akan memiliki banyak kesamaan dengan Indonesia, terutama dari segi budaya dan bahasa. Namun, setibanya di Kuala Lumpur, ia justru mengalami kejutan besar. Kota ini jauh lebih modern dan teratur dari yang dibayangkannya, dengan infrastruktur yang sangat baik serta suasana perkotaan yang berbeda dari ekspektasinya. Saat menjelajahi Kuala Lumpur, ia menemukan berbagai tempat menarik, mulai dari kawasan wisata hingga pusat perbelanjaan di dataran tinggi yang memberikan pengalaman berbeda dari kota-kota lain di Asia. Selain itu, ia juga mencicipi makanan khas Malaysia seperti nasi lemak dan teh tarik, yang ternyata memiliki cita rasa unik dan berbeda dari yang pernah ia coba sebelumnya. Menariknya, bukan hanya dia yang terkejut dengan keunikan Malaysia. Beberapa turis asing lainnya yang ia temui juga mengungkapkan kekaguman mereka terhadap negara ini. Bahkan, ada yang merasa bahwa Malaysia menawarkan kualitas hidup yang lebih baik dibandingkan negara asal mereka sendiri. Keamanan, kebersihan, serta perpaduan budaya yang harmonis menjadi daya tarik utama yang membedakan Malaysia dari negara-negara Asia lainnya.
My name is Dasha and I'm originally from Indonesia. No, not Indonesia actually, but Germany. But I lived.
Tapi ini bulenya udah lama banget tinggal di Indonesia loh.
Already for 3 years in Indonesia and 7 months in Bali. And I kinda got bored in Bali already after 7 months. Please don't hate. I know you guys love Bali so much. I will make a video about Bali next. But I decided to visit Malaysia for like 2 weeks because Malaysia and Indonesia are quite near and the language is quite similar. So in this video, I want to show you guys what you can visit in Kuala Lumpur, where you can go, what kind of food you can try. Also, like my perception. English is not my first language, and I want to tell you guys my opinion about Malaysia and compare to Bali. So please watch this video until the end because at the end I will tell you guys my opinion about Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur compared to Indonesia, Bali. Now we are on the way there, and guys, this is actually the line. If you don't want to wait, it's a bit more expensive, but you will not wait 1 hour for this kind of line. Batik Air Malaysia, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. I almost just missed the flight, and like I was sitting at the coffee shop in the smoking area, and actually the boarding should be like at 11:45. And at 11:40, somebody came up from the workers from the Batik Air Malaysia, and he said like, yeah, it's the last call for the flight. Don't miss it. Don't forget, like, go there fast. And yeah, we didn't miss the flight. Thank you so much, Batik Air Malaysia. You guys are the best, really. So kind people everywhere. See you in Kuala Lumpur. Bye-bye. Bye. Guys, did you know that in Malaysia, in Korea, and many countries, the number 4 is meant to death. So they're not using the 4 in the elevator at all. Oh my god! This is the view! Wow! Oh my god, do you see that? There's 2 towers. Wow. That's so nice.
Trying Malaysian breakfast for the first time.
Good morning, guys. It's 8 a.m. right now, and right now we want to try Malaysian breakfast. What is this? Roti cheese?
Roti canai.
Oh, roti canai, the best bread in the world. Okay. Here we have roti bomb. We tried with the orange sauce. What's the orange sauce?
Dal.
Dal.
Orange sauce.
I like this one. That's really good. I like the cheese one.
Salfok sama itu guys ya, topinya abangnya.
Ini sebab banget guys. Orang Melayu yang nonton vlog ini, aku nggak tahu kalian ngerti nggak kalau aku pakai bahasa Indonesia, makanya aku pakainya bahasa Inggris.
The classic roti canai, nothing in it. Empty.
What sauce is this?
Sorry.
I like it, but there's no flavor in it.
It's sweet.
Oh, now I understand. It's very, very good. So this is with condensed milk, all different. This has no topping, like it's the original one. Then we have like with cheese, and then with condensed milk, and there's a lot of more flavor. I want to move to Malaysia.
Trying Malaysian durian for the first time.
Today we're gonna try the best durian in the whole world in Malaysia. The name is Musang King Durian, and it's the most delicious one, so this will be my first time. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm so excited. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Wow, enak guys. Tumben-tumben bule suka durian.
Yes, this is definitely a yes. Oh my god, it's so good. It's melting in my mouth. It's really, really good, guys. It's so delicious. It's a bit sour and not too sweet, guys. I like it. I love it. It's very creamy. So if you go to Malaysia, try Musang King durian. It's very, very good. Recommend. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let's visit the most famous mosque in Malaysia. Putra Mosque.
So before entering, I had to put on this red robe because I totally forgot my hijab. But honestly, I think it's a great idea from the mosque. It makes sure everyone is dressed appropriately and respectfully. The mosque is super famous for its pink color. But what makes it even more special is the architecture. It actually combines different architectural styles from various Islamic countries like Persian, Middle Eastern, Malay influences in the patterns and decorations. You can see details everywhere. I was so lucky to meet a guy there explaining all the history behind the mosque. He also told me that minaret's design was inspired in a mosque in Baghdad, and this is showing how Islamic cultures are so connected. This was such a beautiful experience. The mix of cultures, the peaceful atmosphere. Putra Mosque is truly beautiful and amazing. I would love to visit it again. So if you're ever in Malaysia, Putra Mosque is definitely a must visit.
Even yesterday, guys, this is just for my girlies. We were just walking down the street, just searching for food because we live near Bukit Bintang. And Bukit Bintang, this is like the most famous place in Kuala Lumpur. A lot of food. We were walking down the street and there were so many handsome guys. Whoa. There were so many handsome guys. So if you are searching for a husband. You can go to Malaysia. We were just like walking around the street and wow, he's handsome, he's handsome.
Hari ini saya teringin coba nasi lemak. Assalamualaikum. Jadi kemarin aku pergi ke Malaysia dan saya coba nasi lemak dan aku suka banget sama nasi lemak karena sedap banget. Jadi saya sekarang ada di Indonesia dan saya mau lihat betapa sedapnya Malaysia, nasi lemak Malaysia atau Indonesia. Maaf orang Melayu, bahasa Melayu aku belum lancar, jadi aku cuma pakai bahasa Indonesia. Jadi di sini kita ada pirang dan kita taruh bonteng, dan di sini kita ada nasi lemaknya seperti ini. Ini kita dikasih kacang.
Oke, kacang sama teri itu.
Nanti saya juga mau cobain masak nasi lemak sendiri. Kita ada sausnya, kita taruh di sini.
Aduh.
Baunya enak sama manis gitu. Dan juga telur. Rendang. Ini sedapnya nasi lemak pakai rendang. Tapi saya suka pedas, makanya aku juga pakai pedas. Akhirnya kita mau coba nasi lemak dari Indonesia ya, bukan dari Malaysia. Aku nggak bawain dari pesawat. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. 1, 2, 7.
1, 2, 7. Gimana?
Ini sedap banget, enak banget. Nasinya lembut, rendangnya pedas dikit, pakai kacang. Wah.
Gila bos.
Gila sedap banget. Ini binatang 10 dari 10. Jadi kayaknya orang Melayu yang masak di sini di Indonesia. Pokoknya ini enak banget.
Pantes.
Aku nggak tahu di Malaysia biasanya pakai apa, pakainya ayam atau rendang, tapi ini enak banget, sedap banget, tolong. Ini serius sedap banget, makanan favorit aku. Tapi kayaknya menurut aku di Malaysia tetap lebih enak. Nasi lemaknya. Komen kalau aku harus coba makanan Malaysia lagi.
It is my first day in Kuala Lumpur. I've never been to Malaysia before, so I'm so excited to explore. We've just come out and we're going to head to one of the malls here. The one we've come to is called the Pavilion. And it looks like there's loads of cafes here. Just walking into it now. But there's so much. Oh my god, they've got an Elan. Didn't know they had these in Malaysia. The first thing we're going to do today is go grab ourselves a morning coffee. So let's find a coffee shop. They have an Arabica coffee. We've got to go in here. All of the Arabica coffee shops are just so nice. Can I please get a hot Spanish latte? That size, please. Anything else? Can I get it with oat milk? Please. It did have a lid on, so the latte art is kind of ruined, but it still looks good. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Arabica Spanish lattes, the best. There are so many different types of shops in this mall. Like, we've even got a Lululemon, got a Cotton On, Levi's. I am definitely going to have to do some shopping in here at some point. There's just so much. Oh my god, you guys, it is so festive in here. Look at these Christmas trees. We're actually going to be in Malaysia for the next month, so we've got so much time here. So if there's anything that you think I should go see, things to do, any kind of just recommendations, please let me know.
In Malaysia, if you want to cross the road, you just need to use a power of your hand. So let's try it. Okay, let's go. It's more, guys.
So in Southeast Asia, you'll get used to all the tuk-tuk drivers, all the people that hustle you on the streets for money. It gets very annoying, but here in Malaysia, there is no hustlers. It's just you on the streets, baby.
What makes Malaysia different to other countries?
Different races, Malay, Chinese and Indian. We can unite with the basic language, English. So we all united.
Multicultural. We have different religions and different types of people.
What most stands out is our mix of culture. So you can really mix with everyone.
We can share all the traditions. For example, I really like kopitiam. Even though it's Chinese culture, right? The celebrations. We can celebrate Deepavali together, Chinese New Year together, to understand everyone better.
Malaysia have a lot of historical place. The citizens always together.
We are multiracial. We
can mix very well with other races. There's no barrier.
There's no four seasons. It's either hot, sunny, or rainy. Most people here are very nice. People are very pleasant, and the food is really good.
One thing that makes it different is the culture. You know, there's a lot of culture. We combine our culture together. Chinese with Malay, Indians with Malays.
Another country not have the same food like Malaysia.
This is what I thought about Malaysia before to come here. I think my biggest shock has been how kind people are here. People are just very, very, very nice. It's probably the only country I feel this safe. Even in Thailand, I didn't feel as safe as in Malaysia. But before to
jadi kalau dia ke Thailand gitu tidak merasa seaman di Malaysia. Itu mungkin keistimewaan atau bisa dikatakan keunggulan daripada Malaysia. Ketika bule-bule ya kan ke Malaysia, mereka langsung merasa kayak oh aman banget di sini gitu kan.
Come here. The crazy thing is that I thought it was gonna be the opposite. I thought Malaysia would be a little bit more dangerous and I have to be careful more. But I am in KL right now.
Jadi dia pikir itu Malaysia akan lebih bahaya gitu kan daripada negara-negara lain. Ternyata ketika sampai di Malaysia faktanya berbalik gitu kan.
And I feel like I can go pretty much everywhere and nobody's gonna rob me. The second thing I've been the most surprised of is all these buildings here. Look, all of these buildings were not here 20 years ago. I talked to some people, everything this and that, and the Merdeka Tower, none of this existed before. Everything is new. Look at these roads. These roads, like, it just looks like a European country. I didn't expect at all. I feel like I'm in the Switzerland of Southeast Asia. The only thing is that it's much hotter. In terms of climate, it's pretty much what I expected. It's a hot country, but there's so much I can say about the Malaysian culture. And if you have never discovered that, I really recommend you to come here and to experience that by yourself.
I was just talking to a friend and I realized that there are few things in Malaysia that are completely opposite and different from Poland. And they're not like obvious things like driving on the left or right side of the road. So let me tell you, the first one is the sun tanning and sun tanning product. So even now when I was in Poland for the summer, everyone was basically asking me why I'm not tan and sending me to the sun and almost like pushing me to get some sunrise on my skin and get tan. So in Poland, this white and not suntan skin is unattractive. So when I finally got a little suntan, everyone was commenting that finally I look normal. And this desire to become tan is obviously reflected in the products. You'll find so many sun tanning products. Sun tanning tissues, sun tanning creams, sun tanning toners, the creams that can speed up the process of sun tanning, the creams that can actually keep your suntan for longer. And I don't think you can find anything like that in Malaysia, but instead you will find a lot of whitening products because the whiter skin here is opposite to Poland, considered more attractive. And I don't think you would find a lot of whitening products, if any, in Poland. Second thing, it's a coffee and tea. So when you go to any gatherings, weddings, celebrations in Poland, you'll obviously, as well as in Malaysia, have a coffee or tea served. But in Poland, as a default, it will always be coffee and tea without any sugar and anything inside, just a plain coffee and plain tea. And then there will be a sugar on the side. But in Malaysia, it's exactly opposite. I remember my first gatherings and there would be coffee and tea. It's usually already in sugar. So the default coffee and tea in Poland is without sugar, and the default of coffee and tea in Malaysia is already sweetened one. And the last one, it's the language difference, but it's funny how opposite and confusing it is. And imagine how confusing it was for me at the very beginning. So in Malaysia, no, it's tidak, but everyone says tak, right? Which you basically would spell T-A-K, and you pronounce it as tak. And in Poland, it's exactly the same, T-A-K, which you pronounce tak, but means exactly the opposite, means yes. So at the very beginning, when someone would use tak in the sentence, my brain would immediately assume that this is a positive answer, and it means yes. So that's a small little language difference that can be confusing. Are there any other differences that you've noticed, maybe in the broader Europe, that are completely opposite?
Three best things about Malaysia.
I like the cost of living versus quality of life balance here. It is not mega expensive, like some capitals in Asia, like Singapore, like Tokyo, like Hong Kong. At the same time, it offers a fairly high quality of life, and I mean such things as safety, medicine, education, availability of anything basically in terms of food, restaurant, brands. You can feel the difference when you are here versus many other countries in ASEAN. One of the ways to see that it is actually true is that many citizens of other ASEAN countries, regional countries, work in Malaysia. So which means Malaysia offers fairly high lifestyle to be attractive enough to people from the 12 other countries from the region to come here to work. So yeah, that's a nice part, and yet you don't have to pay a bomb.
There is an interesting pattern in Malaysia I noticed among the foreigners that I think it's quite unique, but let me explain it based on the situation. So recently I was catching up with a friend. She's foreigner and she just moved to Malaysia a few months ago. She met up with a girl who is Malaysian as a heritage. Her parents are Malaysian, but never grew up in Malaysia. They met up and that Malaysian that never grew up in Malaysia was complaining a lot about the country. I don't know the details, I think I'll boil too much to hear it, but that friend of mine that it's a foreigner that moved to Malaysia was saying she couldn't stand it. She was getting very defensive about Malaysia. She was getting very irritated about all the comments. She was constantly disagreeing with that person. And that friend of mine said she has no intention to ever even seeing her again because of that. She took all the criticism about Malaysia very personally, although it was coming from the person whose heritage is Malaysian. And I remember this happens actually a lot, that the foreigners that do live in Malaysia, do settle here, are becoming like ambassadors of Malaysia and take any criticism about the country very personally and are always ready to fight it back. Oh, I remember also another situation with a European lady that lives here for a while as well, and she was telling me that she's also met a person, I think that person wasn't Malaysian, made few negative comments about Malaysia here and there. And then she was so angry. She was basically, when she was telling me the story, she was boiling up. She was so triggered. She was saying that she even told this person, go back to your own country if you don't like it. She couldn't accept that someone could say something negatively about Malaysia. And I have the same thing. My friends are laughing that I'm like a Malaysian ambassador or like a Malaysian tiger that will bite back if anyone will say anything negative about Malaysia. I get even triggered when someone shares the opinion about even the food, which is such a personal preference, and everyone has a right to love it or not like it. But I really don't like hearing when someone criticizes anything about this country or elements of the culture or the food. I was thinking, I don't know many foreigners living in Poland, but I've never noticed such a consistent army defending the country of foreigners living there. I lived in Thailand before and I don't think I've noticed that. I'm really curious if this is really a unique for Malaysia thing. And obviously every country has pros and cons, no country is perfect, but I think that attitude, it's very, very clear that if someone lives here, they love Malaysia with their whole heart and they feel like a part of Malaysia and responsible for the image of this country. And obviously not all. There are foreigners as well that, you know, are vocal about the things that they might not like. But I'm saying majority of the people I speak with or I meet with, usually it's the same consistent Malaysian tiger attitude. And I was thinking, where could it be coming from? And one theory is that Malaysia is very inclusive. You do feel like a part of the culture when you settle in here. People basically take you in and feel like a part of the family, and you are feeling attacked if someone is attacking the country. The other theory is that I feel Malaysians also have a big sense of pride about their identity, culture, traditions, and heritage. And that might be infectious, that we all, you know, fall in love with that so deeply that we want everyone to feel this way as well. It's definitely beautiful and beautifully unique, but let me know your thoughts.
This has been the craziest journey in my life. 3 months ago, I come here in Malaysia, new country, coming from Thailand. Nobody knew me, I was a total stranger. And then I just don't know what happened. The whole country saw one of my videos. Everyone started following me, everyone started engaging me, everyone. It was crazy. I became recognized everywhere in the streets. Everyone knew my face. In about 1, 2, 3 days, my life was totally different. I was just making normal videos, nothing special. And then people kept on following. And people started to like my vibes. I don't know, like what I was doing, like my videos, my personality, my face. I don't know. That was crazy, I'm telling you. Since then, I kept on making videos almost every day. I just kept on doing what I was already doing before. Since the moment I arrived until now today, my last day in Malaysia. I'm leaving tomorrow and I don't know how I feel. Feeling very emotional right now. Let's sit down here. I just don't know what happened. It was crazy. And it wasn't like just one video, right? All my videos got traction since this first one. I've been making so many videos about talking about Malaysia. The hardest part was to actually be recognized everywhere in the street. So I don't know, like I just feel like I'm a normal person, right? But when we see everyone outside, hundreds of people every day seeing you, recognizing you, even staring at you without telling you, I just know when I'm recognized. Like I see people staring at me like, are you? Not sure. That has been very, very intense. If you don't know how it feels to have popularity, it's very intense. It's amazing, but it's also so much pressure to be perfect all the time, to be answering everyone, like so much attention. You know, people telling me, oh, you didn't reply to my DM. I have hundreds of DMs every day. You don't reply to comments. I have thousands of comments every day. That has been a really, really crazy journey. But at the same time, I'm so grateful because I've been working so hard to do that for the past 2 years. But I think the hardest part has been to actually find your identity, right? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we talk about. I talk about countries, I talk about cultures, I talk about travel, I try to inspire people, I try to make you travel with me, I try to be funny. I'm trying so many different things. But probably what I enjoy the most is when I see people's reaction and when I actually meet people outside and they just have a big smile in their face when they see me. Because I don't know, like, at the end of the day, I'm just myself. And it keeps changing because over time, you become a different person. But if you are from Malaysia watching right now, I want to deeply thank you for trusting me. It's not just following me, it's also trusting me to see me every day. Because we know what happens when you start following someone. I met some people and they said, oh, I see you every day in my For You page. Every day, I just see you every day. That's crazy. Because it's very different, you know, when you are the person who's actually doing things instead of watching others do. So different. Almost doesn't feel real sometimes. But anyway, that's my last day. I'm leaving tomorrow. It's at night already. Keep following my journey. Because the reason why I make all these videos, there's a reason. I'm not doing it just for me. I am especially doing it for you. Everything that I do, if it scares you to do it, you have the truth that it's possible. Whether making videos, whether traveling, whether, I don't know, maybe you like the way I communicate, confidence, doesn't matter how I inspire you. You gotta keep in mind that I'm here to show you that it's possible. This life is hard, but it's possible. I don't want to remember the moment when I had just a normal job and I was doing that. Every single day was same. Every day was the same. Now I got to have an extraordinary life, being able to travel the world, being able to pretty much do what I want. And I am very grateful for that. And I really want you to start asking yourself the right questions. Malaysia, if you are Malaysian, I love you so much. Saya anak Malaysia. I couldn't do it without you. So now I have the responsibility to inspire you and to help you.
It seems you guys liked me sharing about the cultural differences and makes me so happy you are interested in it. So today, while I'm melting in this pedas gila weather, let me tell you about the few rules that you absolutely have to follow in Poland and the rules that I don't think exist in Malaysia. The last one I've been following in Malaysia for years, thinking that if I get caught doing it, I'll pay the fine. Rule number 1 is actually, you guys mentioned it in the comments, so thanks for the idea. It's about the zebra crossing without the traffic light, that the car always have to stop to let the pedestrian cross the road. It's such an important rule that a lot of drivers already slow down seeing the zebra crossing ahead, and some stop even when they don't see the pedestrian clearly waiting, just to make sure. The rule number 2, it's relatively new, just a few years, that when you cross the road as a pedestrian, you cannot have your headphones on and you cannot speak on the phone. And I remember when I was in Poland and sometimes being on the calls, every time I crossed the road, I had to remove my headphones, ask people on the call to give me 10 seconds, put my phone into the pocket, and then after I crossed, put it back on. And every crossing, I had to repeat the same thing. Rule number 3, it's for drivers. But if you're driving in Poland, your lights, your front lights, have to be always on. The whole year, the whole day, 24 hours. So even if you're driving in a very sunny, bright afternoon, you still have to have your lights on. Rule number 4, it's illegal to swear in public in Poland. And it's not just because you're offending someone or doing harm to someone. You cannot say the bad word, even if you're telling a friend a story and you mean no harm. If you are caught by the police that was just passing by and hearing you emphasizing on certain sentences with a bad word, you'll pay the fine. And the last one, as I mentioned, is the one that I've been always stressed out about not doing in Malaysia, which is walking on the grass. So in Poland, the grass and plants are super protected. So you cannot walk or sit on the grass, even in the parks, unless in designated areas. And I remember in Malaysia, when I saw the grass, I would always make a massive round if I had to pass through, just to ensure that I don't put my foot on the grass. And I saw a lot of people doing that. So I started digging in and I learned that there's no such a thing here. Are there any other interesting rules you've seen somewhere abroad that do not exist in Malaysia? Let me know in the comments.
Dari pengalaman ini, ada pelajaran yang bisa diambil. Seringkali, kita memiliki prasangka terhadap suatu tempat sebelum benar-benar mengunjunginya.
Betul.
Padahal, kenyataan bisa jauh berbeda dan lebih baik dari yang kita bayangkan. Bagi siapapun yang suka menjelajahi dunia, penting untuk melihat suatu negara dengan pikiran terbuka dan menghargai keberagaman yang ada.
Betul itu.
Dengan begitu, kita tidak hanya mendapatkan pengalaman baru, tetapi juga wawasan yang lebih luas tentang dunia di sekitar kita.
Alright guys, selesai videonya dan itulah tadi ya guys ya. 3 tahun di Indonesia sudah keliling Asia, tapi Malaysia memang berbeda. Dan turis luar mengakui bagaimana istilahnya keindahan, bagaimana peraturan, bagaimana keamanan yang ada di Malaysia itu sendiri ya guys ya. Wow, keren sih guys ya. Sampai-sampai istilahnya bule-bule itu senang tinggal di Malaysia. Sampai-sampai mereka itu memberikan review yang baik tentang Malaysia. Dan itu memang mereka alami sendiri seperti itu ya guys ya. Masya Allah, tabarakallah. Dan semoga ini menambah wawasan dan pengetahuan bagi kita semua, sehingga kita saling menghormati dan saling menghargai ya guys ya. Oke, selamat menunaikan ibadah puasa. Saya pamit undur diri. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.